Warning: this podcast contains adult material and is not suitable for anyone under the age of 18. You have been warned. Do you like movies?
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
What do you think about horror movies? Blood, guts, and mayhem.
Groovy.
Then sit back, relax, and listen to the Dead and Rotting Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Dead and Rotting Podcast. I'm your host as always, Tim Tanner. Happy holidays and or Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. This is the season. In fact, this is the Thursday before Christmas. And if you're wondering what to get me for Christmas, you ask, maybe you didn't, maybe you're thinking about it. Anyway, if you would like to, and I ask that you please do, go and subscribe to our Spotify. I want to try to get up to 1,000 followers on there. So if you haven't followed us yet and or subscribed, go to Spotify, give us a follow, subscribe. That would be awesome. Anywho, thinking back a couple of years ago during the pandemic, I really had a lot of time on my hands, so I did a lot of friending and befriending of people in the indie movie, more specifically indie horror movie scene. And a couple of these people really worked hard during that time, even though the pandemic was at its height, as well as recently with the strikes. And one of those people that I kept seeing that was constantly working is our guest tonight, Erik Anthony Russo. He is a hard-working dude, done a whole bunch of stuff in front of, behind, and just all aspects of film. I was really excited to be able to talk to him, and even more excited that he was like me to interview him. So that was pretty fun. And as you're listening to our interview and or conversation this week, just know that if you hear some weird little sounds in the background, it's my puppy dogs. They decided to come in and join in on the interview as I was doing it. And even though I removed a lot of the weird sounds that they might have of the scratching and tiptoeing around and licking and everything else, it still may actually be in there. Anyway, I hope you really enjoy listening to the conversation I had with Erik. I hope you have as much fun listening as I had interview and or talking. I sure did laugh a lot, that's for sure. So without further ado, here's our conversation between me and Erik. All right, I am here tonight in the Dead and Rotting Podcast with my guest here. If you would first and foremost kind of introduce us to yourself and what you do in the movie/horror movie biz.
My name's Erik Anthony Russo. As far as the horror, indie horror business, I'm an actor, editor, cinematographer, director. I've done a little bit of everything these last few years. I've been out here in California for 6 years now, since January of 2018. I'm originally from Rhode Island. So, I've been in the indie horror game for at least 4 or 5 years. I'd say 4 or 5 years. I'll say 5. What the fuck? Yeah, sure, 5.
Nice. So what got you interested in movies?
Honestly, I'd been doing movies in general or horror movies.
Well, a little bit of both.
Well, let's see. I've been living in Rhode Island for my whole life. I'm 46. I'll be 47 in a few days, and December 4th is my birthday.
Well, happy early birthday.
I thank you. I appreciate that. I've been living my life in Rhode Island for pretty much 41 years of my life at the time. And I always had a knack for film and a little bit of cinematography too. And I did some improv classes in Rhode Island, and as much as I love Rhode Island, I just felt like I couldn't. I felt like I hit a glass ceiling. What can I do in Rhode Island? Nothing against my home state. I love Rhode Island, but what's my next step? Go to Boston, New York, a bigger state, or just fuck it, just go to LA. Let's do it. So I just hopped in my car and just drove out to Los Angeles. It was a little more complicated than that, but that's generally what I did. I did the whole driving across the country thing, see what happens. And worst case, I would have came back to came back home, but it's been 6 years and I honestly I never look back.
So I know I saw on your IMDb there that you have quite a few, about 65 movies in various capacities that you've worked on. And of course, you worked on cinematography on nearly 30 movies, it looks like. So I seen that you've been behind the camera and you said that you directed. So I was just wondering, as far as being a director, what is some of the things that you look for to kind of get in the shot that you like to make sure is there when you're doing your directing?
Oh God, as far as director, it's funny. I'm directing a movie right now. It's based on for example, we'll get into that question, but it's called Eric Got Dumped. And it just happened recently. It happened in August of this year. I flew out to Rhode Island, my home state, and I got text dumped when I landed. It's some girl I've been talking to for the last 2 years. And
oh no!
I always fly over there. We have a good time. I fly back to LA, so it gets pricey over the years, but it's a nice little thing we had. But this particular trip, I landed, and she just, okay, I just want to be friends. Okay, that would have been great to know about, day before I hopped on a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
All this money, rental car. So, and not only that, just saying it's just really shitty to do that to someone in general. So, I was kind of sulking around for a day or two. I was in this hotel I didn't want to be in. I mean, I did, this hotel with the intention of being with her. I was kind of miserable. I didn't get back to LA. This sucks. I'm just not happy. I don't want to be here. And it just sparked an idea. Like, this is kind of like funny in a way. So my friends like, this is kind of, it's like, you should turn this into a comedy, like this. And then, so it kind of progressed into this short film I'm directing now, where the basis of it is that I kind of recreate what happens. I land in Rhode Island, my home state. Girl texts me, and I start calling all my friends. What the fuck is going on? And all my friends are very subtly, is it that they never mention the girl's name? Is it that redhead, the blah blah blah? Yeah, it's her. Well, that fucking bitch. It's just everybody's just saying all this shit about it. It's gone on to like 30 people so far in this movie, saying random stuff about this particular girl, and and her name's never mentioned, but we all know who it is. So she caught wind of this. I won't get into it now, but she's pretty upset at me right now. But that's all the story. Let's get back into why I direct. I love things grounded in some kind of reality. Honestly, I love real life events. I love real reactions. I try to avoid tropes. I just like to have I have a very grounded comedy. As you can see, I say fuck a lot. So that's how people usually react to things. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. So I try to keep it in a level of reality when I direct it. And then as far as camera work, I think I have a very documentary style I like to go with. Me personally, I like to keep a lot of stuff on sticks, occasional handheld, but I've kind of grown as a cinematographer the last few years. I've had the opportunity to be on lots of sets and just kind of learn from people. And I'm kind of a sponge. I just take things in and apply it to what I like to do. I don't know if that answers your question at all. I kind of just went spiraling all over the place, but I'll stop for now.
That answered it completely, man. So do you ever venture into writing? You ever do your own writing?
Yeah, I absolutely have written. I actually I have a pilot in the works right now, based on for a few years I worked overnight job, a graveyard shift at a hotel, a luxury hotel in downtown LA. I ran the valet department. I was a manager. We had a couple valet runners, a cashier, and generally we dealt with the people from 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. And if you've done any overnight jobs, you get all sorts of people around those hours, those bewitching hours, So it's a comedy, a sitcom style comedy, based on true life events that happen at this hotel and what I deal with. I deal with crazy hotel guests. I deal with homeless, drug addicts, and prostitutes, drug dealers, and it's all like moments that have happened and like during this job I had, and I have about 10 episodes written at least, enough for a season. And we have a pilot all written out, ready to go, and it's a matter of getting the time to just get it all together. That's probably one of the next projects going into 2024, to get this little pilot going with this sitcom style. Yeah,
That sounds awesome, man. Yeah,
oh yeah, I dealt with a lot of stuff in the middle of the night. Believe me,
I can imagine. I don't know why, but both my dogs have decided to come in here. So if you hear something weird going on, my dogs are sniffing around.
Oh, it's totally cool. It's the voice. It's my accent. It attracts all sorts of animals. I have a dog hanging out in here too. I feel bad. It's the voice. It's the voice.
It's just drawing them to us.
It is, for better or worse.
So do you have any projects that you're working on now? I know you said that you're working on that one movie, but I know here lately you saw on your socials that you were around in my neck of the woods in Mississippi.
I was. Yes, yeah. I was around in the Biloxi, but more towards Ocean Springs. I don't know. What's the? No, it's I'm saying it wrong.
Pascagoula.
Yes,
Pascagoula?
I totally butchered that one. I was in that area for about 2 weeks. It's a feature film called the Stokes River Haunting. It's on my IMDb. We shot it last year, pretty much. It's based on a true story, I think, in a sense, based on true events. We'll put it that way. It's a horror movie. It's a like a slasher kind of movie where this company goes on like a little company like event kind of thing for a weekend, like a little company outing, I guess they call it. We go camping for the weekend.
Nice.
The struggling company is supposed to build morale and get everybody to teamwork, but they don't know there's a slasher in the woods, and they're on sacred cursed land, and it's kind of a cool story. The director reached out to me. He was looking for a little assistance in editing this movie, so I came along, and I'm also in it as well. I'm acting in it. I went down there for 2 weeks to kind of get like an assembly cut going, and 2 weeks this isn't enough for me at least to get a full feature film going. So we decided I took it back the footage to LA, and I'm just doing it out here with another fellow actress. Her name's Jennifer Moriarty. She's an amazing actress as well. I could get her on your show. She does horror movies as well, and she's in a few of them I'm in as well. I've directed, and I'm sorry, a shot. Awesome. And she's another actress who probably won't do your show. We'll get into that later. But yeah, so that's why I was out there for it. So I'm currently editing this feature film, the Stokes River Haunting. That's the reason I was out in Mississippi. The main reason. But occasionally I have a lot of friends out there. I've actually made a lot of friends in the film community in Mississippi, and I didn't realize there's a lot of great talent out there. I'm telling you, man. Mississippi itself, I've kind of fallen in love with the South between New Orleans. I go to New Orleans every year. I just fell in love with that the last few years. I go to Mississippi a lot lately, and my parents live in Florida, so in this trip I was able to run over to Florida really quick and visit my parents for a day or two. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I've kind of learned to love Mississippi. I've been out there at least 3 or 4 times this year, maybe 3 times I've been out there so far this year. So yeah, so that's what I was out there for. We're putting together a feature film.
So of course, fall in love with the cooking as well and the food.
Oh God, man, yeah, dude. Like, there's a lot of fried stuff you guys have. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
a lot of barbecue. Yeah, dude. I love seafood too, so I saw a lot of like crab stuff. A lot of anything seafood I'll freaking eat, like shellfish. Oh God, I'm Italian, so I'll just eat about anything really. No, really. I've had some great food out there. I was surprised. I found a couple of good Mexican restaurants too in Mississippi. I was pretty surprised. Some decent pizza. LA's tough for pizza. I'm not gonna lie. LA is just really a tough place to get pizza, and Mississippi had a couple decent pizza places. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good.
So what do you think would probably be the most difficult part of working on movies?
Let's see. The most difficult part is probably not just one. It's probably a couple of things I can think of right off the bat.
Yeah, probably so.
It's funny. I just worked on a film this weekend. It was a student film. I was helping out a friend. Her daughter's going to school, so she wanted to help with the student film. So I said, okay. She wanted me to act in it, but she also wanted to use my camera. I have a Blackmagic 6K Pro, And so sure, of
Nice.
course, he's learning. So yeah, you're more than welcome to use my camera. And I think the most difficult part, and I'll tell people, is sound. Sound is so freaking hard to get. We use some wireless lavs for the sound, and there was rubbing, there was feedback, and then we didn't catch it until after we're all done. I'm like, oh fuck, the sound's fucked up. And the one thing I tell people, get a dedicated sound person. Just try to get some person who just focuses on sound. I'm more of a camera guy. I'm not gonna lie. And I do some sound, but I wouldn't say I'm a sound like expert. Believe me. But if that sound is, believe me, number one. Luckily, I have enough chops to fix it. I was able to fix the audio, do a little ADR, do a couple. There's actually most of the takes are okay. Just some of the takes got messed up, but I was able to fix it and render it and get it done. But what we should have had is somebody a dedicated sound person. So sound, I think, is the most difficult thing. That's the number one thing. And continuity. Continuity is such a big deal. I'm watching this movie now that I've just mentioned, the Stokes River Haunting, and there's always somebody doing different in a take, somebody doing something different, like moving an arm a certain way, or they have this cigarette not that either lit or not lit, a hat or no hat. And you watch every take, like fuck, you're trying to edit a certain so it's nice and smooth. Like fuck, why is his hand there? Why did you? Or he said his line a little different. So continuity and sound right off the bat. I could probably think of 5 other things that bother me, but those are 2 things I noticed right off the bat that are very difficult to get down sometimes.
So, what would you think would be, or what is probably the best part of working on horror movies for you?
Oh, let's see. Let me think for a second. I think with most of the sets I work with or on, it's as far as the best part. You mean the best part? The best part you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, like some of the best parts about working on horror
I
movies.
think honestly, it's when people and for the sets I've been on, they're having fun. Like it's a sense of fun. And the with sets like I just worked on a movie called Spider Baby. It's a remake of the original that just came out. It just had a screening on a Halloween night. It's by director Dustin Ferguson. It's a remake of the original, which came out in '67. It's like a cult classic. I'm sure you heard it, Spider Baby. Everybody knows
Oh
about
yeah,
Spider Baby.
definitely.
But we did a remake. It's more like a retelling. I'll say it that way. We kind of brought it into modern times. And I got to tell you that the people, the best part is not only the fun, but the passion people have sometimes to get to. I see when people get into the character, they go for that scare, and you get. I notice when you work on this, lots of horror films have the same actors involved. You get a family. You really do. You get this little horror family. You're in the same movies, and you get excited. Oh, Tracy's coming. Oh, cool. I love working with her and this and that. Or Jen's here. Oh, sweet. That you're gonna get like a grade A actress when like Jen Mariah, for one example, she's coming. She's bringing it. Oh, this guy's funny. This guy's loud. So we get to know people. I think that's the best part. When you work with the same actors, or the same crew. It does become a family. I think that's probably my favorite part. Lots of movies I've done, it's a revolving door of the same actors or people involved, and that's kind of you get to have like you get to reunite with certain people, and of course meeting new people as well. I think that's just fun. But it's good when you get to do the same different movies with the same actors. I think that's to me that's one of my favorite parts.
And I love that part that you're saying about family, because I feel like the horror community in general, it's very welcoming, and from my experience has been kind of like a little family. So I can imagine it extends also onto the sets as well.
Definitely, me. No, absolutely. And like I said, I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and it's great when I get to again work with the same people and just kind of reconnect and see how people's like progress too. I love people seeing same people succeed. Oh wow, cool. She got that role, or he got there. Oh, he's in this. Oh, cool. I get you get that family kind of feeling, that atmosphere, and it's a really truly good feeling. I gotta say.
Do you ever get, or have you ever got starstruck by someone that you've worked with or saw what you're in LA, so you might run into some or rub shoulders with some famous folks?
I was I bumped into Danny Trejo one time, Machete. I was in Trejo's Tacos. It was having dinner with I could probably tell you a couple stories from different actors, but I I was having dinner in a booth. I saw Danny Trejo, just hanging out with somebody else in another booth. He's like a tough looking guy. He's got tattoos. He'll fuck you up. I was like, I don't want to bother the guy. He came in his restaurant. I saw him go in the back, and he just took his jacket off, and he just like a regular it's his place, but you would think he was part of the crew. The way he just kind of came in, like he didn't. I don't know, very I don't know, unassuming, So anyway, he'd be sitting at a booth, just kind of talking business. Like, oh fuck, I don't want to bother the guy. He's just doing his thing. And so he comes walking over to the table, like, oh fuck, Jesus Christ, this guy's gonna fucking yell at us. And he's like, hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the restaurant. Do you want to get some pictures with me? Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. So he was so happy taking. If you look at my Instagram, if you dig down a bit, you'll find a picture of him. He was so kind and friendly, and just like hugging people and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's so fucking nice. Oh God. Working at the hotel, if you want to still stay in the starstruck subject, is because it's a luxury hotel. I got to meet some pretty cool, like high profile people. 50 Cent was hanging out for a couple weeks. He has a whole entourage. So he was filming, I guess he has a show, Power. I think it's on Stars Network.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he was in town to film that. And nicest guy. He get up 5 o'clock in the morning, this guy, all the time. He had like 3 Cadillac S, 3 huge trucks. There's him and his crew. But he'd come out, good morning, how you doing, sir? That guy would leave at 5 in the morning. He wouldn't go back till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. He'd be on set at least 12, 13, 14 hours. He's a hardworking guy. And Will Smith stayed at the hotel a lot. He actually was living at the hotel for a couple months, not because of his wife. That's the whole other story. But
right.
He was actually, I believe he was working downtown. So he was working on the King Richard movie. I think it's about Serena Williams' dad.
Oh, okay.
That's what the Oscar for. So he was staying at the hotel for a couple months. So I get to meet him again. Really nice guy. Tommy Wiseau, the room guy, he's nice. He's exactly how you think he'd be. Tommy Wiseau. He's shameless. He shamelessly plugs. He's no shame in his game. I met some of the Avengers one time when the last movie they did was an Endgame. They were promoting that at the hotel, so this kind of popped in on a Sunday out of the blue. 4 or 5 limos come popping in. It's Robert Downey Jr., same with the whole of the guys. They had a big conference. Upside, they rented a conference room on the 6th floor, and they just had a big press conference. That's what it was. So they just kind of popping in. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's going on? Hi. So that was very kind of him. Nice. Donald Sutherland, President Snow from Hunger Games. I met him. Yeah, I mean, he's a great actor as well, but I met him at 5 o'clock in the morning, just hanging out at the hotel, waiting for his driver to pick him up. He's very unassuming. Donald Sutherland. What's up, man? Hey, how are you? Donald Sutherland. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, he was just like whatever, waiting for his driver. And he was giving some great advice about acting and just he's just a really all-around nice guy. And yeah, so I mean, that's just a few people I've met or worked with. And yeah, I gotta say, I have to go through my IMDb. Sometimes I forget who I've met or worked with. I'm not gonna lie, I forget. Not to be like, it's not like I got a fucking ego. It's just because I do a lot of work, so I forget. Right. Oh yeah, I was in that too. I forgot I did that because I've been here 6 years now, and I kind of move. I'm always moving forward, so I forget. Like when I do something, oh shit, yeah, that was fun. So I just always try to do something different all the time, or just kind of always progress. I guess I don't know.
And it sounds like you're busy constantly, so I can imagine that'd be easy to
turn down work sometimes. Yeah, somebody want me to edit something. I'm trying to get it done. This friend of mine wants to edit a music video she just shot. And so I'm like, God, I'm pretty jammed up. I'm trying to squeeze her in for next week. It's something to help her out a little bit, but it's tough sometimes. But I'm not complaining. Believe me, I love being busy. Believe me, I truly do. I know sometimes people can't find work, and I'm just one of those fortunate people. I just made the right connections. I'm professional. I'm reliable, and that means a lot in this industry. Just being professional and reliable. Believe me, that's and on time. That's important too.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did the strike affect any of your work at all?
It hasn't affected me directly. I'm SAG eligible. I've avoided the union I've been eligible for about nearly 4 years now. And I could have joined. I just decided not to. And some people will say you should join the union, blah blah blah. And I get it. That's cool. I like being able to kind of bounce around, do different projects. Me personally, I like having that freedom. And I know, yeah, I could make more money doing SAG or better opportunities. That's fine. I think when the time comes, and I'll know when it's the right time. I just like having this freedom to work in indie horror and working with independent projects, and I just enjoy doing it. So if a big contract comes along, or it offered me a lot of money, and you got to join SAG, all right, okay, fine. I think it comes down to money. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a capitalist. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'm just being honest. Yeah, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with SAG right now. So the strike didn't affect me too much. I have a lot of indie friends. We were through shooting stuff, and it was all non-union projects too. It wasn't any SAG projects or anything
Right.
like that. So we weren't breaking any rules. It was all like independent horror stuff I did the last few months. Actually, it was Spider Baby. I think we shot back in May or June. I think it was. Yeah, I think we shot that over a few days, and then we did one called Dark House of Mystery. That's another one we shot, kind of a throwback to like 1930s era films. It's in a 4:3 ratio. Even the film's like a square,
Oh,
black and
nice.
white. We shot in black and white. Kind of like it felt like Clue, the movie Clue. That's what it felt like.
Oh,
Throwback to that, bunch of characters with scheming kind of stuff, and there's a murder involved. It's pretty cool.
nice.
I actually was able to shoot that one. That was kind of a nice challenge of the shoot in black and white. That was kind of fun. And that you can find that in some streaming servers if you look around. Yeah, Dark House of Mystery.
I'll have to look that up, man.
It's cool. There's
S-
definitely a trailer, I think, on YouTube. And yeah, if you look around enough, you'll find it. If you look on my IMDb, you'll find you can if you just look that up on Google, you'll definitely find some links for it.
So, about how long does it take y'all to shoot a movie, something like that?
Oh God. Now this this Mississippi one, it took us close to, I would say we shot the principal photography in about, I think it was about a week we did it. I want to say a week, but there's been a lot of pickup shots for this particular film. So I've had to go back to Mississippi for one particular scene because sorry, here's a quick story. I don't know. It's just, initially in this, I don't want to say too much in case you see it, but so I do have hey, everybody dies in a horror movie, right? So I have a death scene in a horror movie, so I get drowned in the movie. This is the truth. So I did almost drown in the film. We were in a river to drown and be like, oh fuck, I'm gonna fucking die. I was fine, I'm
That's
still here.
dedication.
But so I guess the footage was kind of iffy, and I'm actually gonna watch it now. I guess it wasn't that great. Not so much for me, just the way it was shot. So the director was, I was like, we have to have you come back. We got to reshoot. Like, oh fuck, are you serious? I don't want to get drowned again. So we actually set it up so I get like choked out in the woods instead because I suffered a broken foot in between. It happened last year. I had to like take a break for about 6 months. I couldn't walk.
Oh man.
That's a whole other story. So to answer your question though, um some movies like Spider Baby, we shot in like 3 days. We were
Oh
able to shoot
wow.
it in 3 days.
That's
There is
crazy.
some of it doesn't include pickup shots we do once in a while. And I come and do some B-roll here or there, but I would say principal photography. I've done some in a few days and over a weekend, depending what it is. But I would say a reasonable time for a feature. I personally like a couple weeks, me personally, if you can do it over 2 weeks. But I've seen it done in a few days. I don't, God bless you if you can do it. But me personally, I'm a little slow. So I like to take my time. So if I can spread it out over a week or two, I'd rather do that. But yeah, I've seen a few people do it in a few days. Yeah, totally.
What's some advice that you can give to those who might be aspire to be in the film industry, specifically those who have the tendency to lean towards the horror side of the film industry?
Yeah, don't wait around for the best equipment or like if you have an idea, go for it. Seriously, like one of the directors I work with, he had a dream. Dustin Ferguson, he just got in his car, left Nebraska, and came out here and just did it. He started off on I think on a camcorder, a phone, and just if you have an idea, go for it. Don't let that hold you back. If you have a great idea, just whatever you have to film it on. And then if you have a gut for that horror, if you have like a good sense of horror, you'll know how to get that scare jump. You'll know how to frighten the audience. That because it does come down to the editing. Sometimes it does come down to, I mean, the acting too. It depends what you're going for, but I would say, yeah, just don't wait around. If we're gonna come down to anything, the right time is always now. Seriously, grab your phone, especially with social media now. You can make so much stuff on a phone. You can grab any kind of camera now. Don't be afraid. You don't have to have the best camera. You don't have to have the best anything really. Don't you have a great idea and you have that passion for it? Go for it. You can find a few friends who want to do it with you. If you have the same, I think find that circle of friends too, who are just as passionate as you about filmmaking or making a horror movie. That's important too. Finding your crew, finding that team, who would love to do it with you. That's important too. That teamwork mentality. I think that's if that makes any sense at all. That's kind of the advice I would tell anybody, for horror films, especially.
It makes perfect sense, man. Yeah, it's actually pretty inspiring to me as well. Felt
Yeah,
like you
no,
were talking to me.
just do it. Like I believe me, I was 41 years old, living in Rhode Island, right? And I mean, I'm a single dad. I was divorced for a few years already. And I tell people the story all the time. And like, I do graphic design too. I've been doing that for a few years out there. I've been doing that for a long time actually. I had a decent job, was fine, whatever, my ex-wife had moved on, which was fine. She moved to Florida, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like I felt like I was idle. I felt like I was kind of hanging out. Like, I don't know. And I had been in Rhode Island. I'm 41 at the time. My parents had moved out of Rhode Island 20 years prior. And I didn't move with them because I was 20 years old, and you know everything when you're 20. It's like
Exactly.
yeah, I'm gonna be by myself. I love my parents, but I'm gonna try my own thing. And I did that for 20 years. I stayed in Rhode Island for 20 years. I got married, divorced, had a house. I did all that, right? And then the reasons I didn't go to Florida with my parents, were I had college, I had friends and family. I didn't really feel the need to move to Florida at the time. And you find over the years, and this is the truth, you find all these reasons to stay somewhere, anywhere really. It doesn't have to be Rhode Island, anywhere. Stay anywhere in your life. These reasons become excuses to stay. And that's what found what was going on. Reasons became excuses. Like, I don't want excuses to stay somewhere. That's why I kind of said, you know what? I need to do something different. I'm not dead yet. I'm 41. California was never in my, if you had asked me 10 years before, I'd never thought about California. I'm like, luckily I had an aunt who lived out here. I was very fortunate. She had asked me for years, when you come out here, try something different. You're a single dad. You're having, kind of wait. It's kind of wait, not wasting out there with Alan, but I feel like you're just idle. You're not really doing much out there. Why don't you just come out to California, give it a try? And I finally gave her the call one day. I said, is that offer still, is it still stand? She, yeah, come out here. Give me a place to crash, just get settled in. All right. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drive out there. It's November 2017. Give me 2 months. I'll be out there in January. Let me just get some things straightened out before I leave. And sure enough, yeah, I did it. So that's what I always tell people. I mean, I was a little older in life to do this, make a total. And believe me, I was scared. I was afraid. What the fuck am I doing? All I've ever known was Rhode Island. That's all I ever known in my life, And I'd never been to the West Coast. I never even driven. So I'm like, fuck it. So I was scared, but I guess I did it. I'm here. I'm still doing it. So I don't know. Don't be scared. Yeah. Don't be afraid. It's just, I don't know how else to say that. I mean, it's that first step. It really is. That's that first step. Fuck. What if I fuck up? And then you fuck up, you fuck up. I mean, it happens, but I don't know. I'm doing it and I'm making it happen somehow. I don't know. I'm not making $1 million, believe me, but I am living my life. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm meeting great people. I'm being creative, and I'm happy right now. I'm fulfilled.
I have a hard question that may have more than one answer, but
Okay.
I was wondering, what is your all-time favorite horror movie?
Oh boy. Thanks for fucking scare the fuck out of me. These movies that generally disturb me and like fuck me up, and all like, what the fuck just happened? And they always like make me uncomfortable. Just horror for me. I love slasher movies. Don't necessarily scare me, but anything like grotesque always bothers me. Like the original The Thing with Kurt Russell. That one's
Oh
always
yeah,
disturbing with the practical effects. Like, oh, that's fucked up movie. It
yeah.
really fucks me up, right? When the dog rips open, like Jesus Christ. The Mist always bothers me. That just the fucking those fucking demons and shit, and the fucking the effects in that are just fucked up, and like
Oh yeah.
then those two right off the bat, I get like cringy watching. Like, oh God, they just bother me. Like slash movies, I always find fun. And even fucking, I just think they're fun. They don't necessarily scare me. I think they're great. Oh fuck yeah, do it, kill them. But I think they're fun movies. Those are the ones I actually love being part of, like slasher movies, like stalker slasher movies. I try to think of some other movies that fucking bother me and scare me a little bit, disturb me. That first fucking alien popping out, an alien out of the guy's fucking stomach. That always said that when you was a kid
Oh
watching
yeah.
that. Oh fuck! You see all this fucking all the shit come out of his mouth and shit. Oh my god, the fucking alien pop out of his fucking
Yeah.
stomach. Oh shit. That's always been like especially first and second one, especially the second was more of an action movie, but that first Alien, man, let me tell you, that's all about atmosphere and like it's creepy and that's I don't know if you count that as a horror, it's sci-fi horror, but
Oh yeah,
um,
definitely a horror. It's a very isolating feeling too when they're on the ship, and
and I'll deep
yeah,
dive. I'll even say if I remember Leviathan, that was a fucking weird fucking movie. Came out in '89, I think. That was
oh
a fucking
yeah,
like aliens underwater movie.
that's
They
right.
had
I
a few
forgot
of those
about that
movies
one.
like that. A Leviathan. I just watched that recently. I think it was on Tubi or something. I haven't seen it in like years. Like I haven't seen this in years. Holy shit! And I forgot about that movie. They drink the vodka and they get the fucking alien. Like, oh geez, that's fun. Anything like with like body like stuff. I think body like horror that always bothers me. Um, I can watch that like I think there's other then anything like stylistically interesting. Like I always remember Dead Ringers with Jeremy Irons. That's always been a fucked up movie to me. That's always bothered me. I think body horror bothers me the most. I think if I had to like think of anything, yeah. And you name like some body horror movies, like anything with
Anything?
eyeballs fucks me up.
Oh
I just
yeah,
anything like that. Like, I mean, Hostel movies are fucking great. Like, especially
yeah.
the first one. The first is fucking great. I can relate to that. I do travel a lot, so I'm like, fuck. I remember I seeing Hostel when that first came out. I'm like, oh shit, that's fucked up too. Um, yeah.
You said you like slashers and stuff. Have you seen Thanksgiving yet?
I've not seen it yet, and I'm pissed off. I'm trying. I remember the trailer coming out during the Grindhouse movies.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was hilarious back in 2007 when it came out. I'm like,
yeah.
holy fuck, make a movie someday about this. And I've heard great things about it, like Eli Roth too. I'll have to. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man.
Is it pretty awesome? Is it like funny and like
It
is it
is.
like
It's
well
a
if you had a yeah, what do you think of it? So if you had to, would you strongly suggest going to check it out?
I definitely would, man. I think it's probably the best movie I've seen this year.
Oh, I love that. All right then. All right, you convinced me. I'm gonna have to go fucking check it out then. And the trailers look amazing.
Yeah,
With the mask and the fucking I'm like, I'm into it. Like, all right, I'm down. But it looks like it has a sense of humor though
it
too, which I
does
like.
definitely. It doesn't take itself too serious, and
That's
the
the kind I
deaths
hate to
are
say
really
it.
cool.
That's my favorite kind of horror movies. Have a little sense of humor to them. Even the old Nightmare on Elm Streets had a sense of humor. And like the Halloweens. I haven't watched the new. I'm not gonna lie, I've not seen the new Halloweens. I don't know. I've heard mixed things about them.
Yeah,
Mixed.
they're kind of okay.
They're more stylistic and kind of like almost like depressing to watch, like that versus like I don't know, like it's a slashing movie, right? So you gotta have to suspend some disbelief with things.
Right, right.
But it wants to be a level of excitement, right? I mean, I've heard. I mean, again, I'm not going to bash the hall. I just haven't seen them, so I shouldn't say shit about them. But from I see it, they're very middling, and I've heard very like, okay,
Yeah, kind
all
of
right, I
meh.
don't know. So that's what I've heard. The Exorcist movie looks like fucking trash. I don't. Was that any good? The Exorcist one, the new one.
It was okay at best.
Okay, at
It
best.
kind of
Oh
it
boy.
kind of seemed it kind of seemed like a made for TV movie in some
Oh
points.
no, wasn't
So,
that good?
um,
Fuck.
but there was some legitimately creepy sequences there towards the end, but
Okay.
overall it was kind of
Eh.
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 I'll wait
It's like
till it comes
okay.
on.
All right.
Wait till it
Cool.
comes on, some streaming service or something like that.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, no, totally, man. Totally.
So, I know you're busy and you got a lot of stuff going on. Where's some places that we can follow you and find out about your I guess
Oh God.
productions and stuff that you're doing?
You can find me. It's just through the social media thing, right? Okay, so you can always Facebook friend me. I'm pretty open. I'm pretty accepting of everybody. You can look me up at Erik Anthony Russo. That's the best way to find me. Eric with a K. I'm pretty active on Facebook a lot. You can find me on Instagram. It is One for the Road Official, and I'll spell it out. It's one for the Road Official. It's ONEFOR Road RHODE like Rhode Island official. One for the Road Official. You can find me on Instagram. I usually post every couple of days. You can look up my IMDb, look up Erik Anthony Russo. You can see my current projects on there. That's the best way. it's probably the best way to keep up on my current events. If you can Google me. I hate to say it sounds like a dick thing, right? Just Google me, Erik Anthony Russo. You'll find out what I'm doing. Just Google me. Yeah, seriously. You see some pictures pop up of me, some fairly unattractive pictures, but I'm there.
Got some Getty images on there.
Oh, you'll find Getty. Yeah, look up Getty. You'll find me. I'm there. I'll pop up. I promise. I'm not. I believe it or not. I'm not a big. I do those things. I have to pop into events. I'm not a big event guy. A lot of people make a living doing that, just showing up at events to get pictures. And I do that once in a while. I guess you got to show up and say hi to people. Kiss the babies, pass out lollipops, and you got to do the whole thing, networking thing. And I did that mostly. October, I was doing that. I just stopped at a lot of events just to get pictures and say hi to people. I'm not into that. I'm okay at it, but it's just one of those things. But that's those three. Yeah, but Instagram, Facebook, and IMDb. That's the best way. And you'll find some contact information. If you wants to email me on anything, I don't mind. You can always email me on stuff. I won't get my phone number out here because I'll get some dirty text. I don't want that happening.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah, no. But if you do message me on Facebook, you'll be able to contact me about projects. And I'm pretty. If you need, you'll find on my in my Instagram page, you'll find a lot of clips, stuff I've shot. You'll find stuff on Facebook, stuff I've shot. And you can inquire about any projects. If I was acting or shooting, I do editing as well. So. I'm pretty reasonable. I'm cheap. I'm a cheap guy. I'm cheap. No, no. I'll work with any budget. Honestly, I'll work with anybody's budget. If they need some help with editing or help with anything in general, camera work. I act as well. So I'm an all around talented guy, I guess. Apparently, depends who you ask. Sure, yeah.
Nice, man. Well, I appreciate you talking with us tonight.
Awesome.
And that will wind us up here on the Dead and Rotting podcast. And that'll do us for this week. Thank you for listening. And if you would like to follow us again on Spotify, you can listen to us there, or you can listen to us on your Apple podcast. You can find us pretty much anywhere. We're on Amazon Music, we're on iHeartRadio, and we just got recently put on YouTube, so please go on YouTube and subscribe if you can. Also, as you were listening, there towards the end of our conversation, me and Erik, he said you can keep up with him through his IMDb, his Facebook, and his Instagram. So I will put up, if you take a look at the show notes, there should be links there and or tell you his username, which I'll tell you right here, which is One for the Road Official. You can find those there. Make sure to follow him, to keep up with him. He is a very busy guy and is constantly doing stuff, and he is super nice, as you could tell from the interview. A funny as hell dude, constantly putting stuff up there that makes me laugh, to keep you in the know as to what he is up to and where you can find his projects. Again, I hope you have a great holiday. Hopefully that you will have lots of food to eat and get to spend time with your family. I know I'm going to eat a whole lot of food and have been eating a whole lot of candy, unfortunately. We will see you again next week, where we drop our next episode next Thursday. And as always, hope that you stay weird, watch some good horror movies, and if you have any kind of suggestions or want to drop us a line or Maybe you're an independent filmmaker. Maybe you want to get on here and chat with me. Maybe you want to promote your stuff. Whatever that may be, you can drop us a line on our socials. You can befriend us on Facebook at Dead and Rotting Podcast. You can also find us on Instagram, which I'm more active on Instagram, Dead and Rotting Podcast, or you can shoot us an email at deadandrottingpodcast@gmail.com. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Tim Tanner, out.